Whoa, America's this Lex. I know it's everybody's favorite. Power Ghost, the finale. Is that the end of the Power series, ladies and gentlemen? Y'all know 50 Cent always keeps something amazing in the works. We don't know what else is gonna come out of the creative mind of 50 Cent next. But Power is a interesting series. And we're gonna say interesting because listen, y'all know the number one thing with Power is, why did y'all smoke Ghost? Why was Ghost taken out of here? We couldn't have seen Ghost overlooking the city. We couldn't have seen Ghost in that light in his executive bag. We couldn't get a continuity of that. Because here's the thing. After Ghost, the spinoffs came. We would hear 50 on the Breakfast Club and his interviews talking about Power Book II. And we like, what is 50 Cent talking about? Come to find out, the Power universe had about 5 spinoffs. Now, if y'all look at the ratings, I don't know if anybody ever did this, but if you look at the ratings for the Power when it was like on Starz, when everybody would be talking about it online, and the ratings was high. Power at its peak, I think it had like 2 million people watching, and Power at one point was having a million people per episode, 800,000, 1.2 million. Power was doing those big numbers. That's on a network like Starz. That's very great, having a distribution relationship with a company like Starz, and it's almost like building up a platform in a way, right? After they took out Ghost, in the upcoming Powers after that, the ratings would drop. Y'all let me know if y'all looking at other numbers, but if when I checked the general ratings for Power, it literally dropped after they took out Ghost. I don't think the ratings just dropped. I think just aspects of the writing, the storyline, it got a bit interesting. I don't know if like 50 Cent and Courtney Kemp, if they kind of took their foot off the pedal a little bit. But it's like the writing with Power was up and down. Now, I will say this. The Power Book 3, the one with Conan, with Raising Kanan, that the first season of that was amazing. Well, actually, all of them. Raising Kanan, that show is nostalgic. You know, the Power does a great job of capturing the grittiness of New York in like the 80s through the 90s, right? Like, I hear stories about that era, and New York was a different ball game. They'll say that at one point New York was a war zone, and Power captures the gritty, dark elements of the underground street, the harshness. Y'all know 50 Cent always mentions the harsh realities. A lot of those tidbits, man, that 50 Cent comes with, it's sprinkled in throughout Power. And I know 50 Cent has a great creative mind, and I'm just like, what some of the story plots and the elements, I want to know what happened with Power, right? Because if you look at something like Game of Thrones, they, on the last few episodes, they were very controversial. And if you don't know about Game of Thrones, the very last episodes of it, I don't want to say they were lackluster, because they weren't, but it wasn't the outcome that a lot of the people was expecting. Now, Power, after they took out Ghost, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't see the point in that, right? I get it, Ghost was doing a lot of weird stuff, and he was violating, symbolically that could have had a whole different representation and meaning. Did y'all really have to take him out? Because I think after that, they fluctuated with the storylines a little bit. And the Raising Kanan, the spinoff of it, that was still interesting, right? Because it's before Ghost, before he meets him and all of that. And then the Ghost, the Power Book 2 is Tariq's story. And then we see and at the finale what happens at the ending, right? And we're gonna get to that. But just Power in general, and I think a lot of crime driven series, they could definitely be upgraded, I think, as a whole genre. And Power did a great job with that, being relative with the youth, the language, how the kids is dressing. Power was very current. There's also that this underlying dynamic with Ghost should have been kept in Power. And I don't know why they did that, why they threw the ball. Omari Hardwick said in a few interviews that when he gets this, then they'll get that, or he wants more money to do the role. I'm gonna be honest, giving him the money to do the role and to carry the series, or to carry the series, I think he should have got that bread, right? Because you could have let Ghost ride out for a good 2-3 more seasons, or 2-3 more years, and then give us the Tyreek story without taking Ghost out, though. A new layer, wanting to see that character kind of live its way through, that character dynamic live its way through. Like, we want to see what would have happened. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, in Power, the writing in it for me at some points, it was way too much fluctuation. Like, Power, the writing in it never dipped below a certain quality. Just some of the plots and the storylines and how it was sequenced, it felt too fast. It felt like the writing wasn't on par with the direction. At one point, I'm just like, yo, like, this just feels way too rushed. You got things like the budget. I'm just like, something was going on with the staff or that back room over there at Power. And maybe it'll come out. Maybe I'm wilding, but the quality of Power from when Omari Hardwick was in it, and like after that, the Raising Kanan and the Ghost, the Power Book II, and then we ain't even get to the Power Force with Tommy yet. I enjoy that Power, right? The first season of Tommy of Force is pretty amazing. That was when they got very current. Like, they was showing you a lot of stuff in that one. I think that first season of Power with Tommy, I think that was way ahead of the curve. Like, just way ahead. When it got to the second season of it wasn't as relatable. And y'all, like, if you look at the ratings for Power throughout the duration of this, it was like decreasing in terms of the ratings. Now, right, me and my Empress, we fans of the show. She put me onto it. I enjoy the show now, just watching it. I do check numbers though, and ask, yo, why would people tune out? How does a show go from almost amassing 2 million, 3 million viewers per week, then it goes to, some of the episodes was doing 100,000, 200,000, 30,000. Like, that's about 70% of the viewership not watching it. And then on the season finales, now this is gonna bring us to the season finales. They were doing great. Like, they would get 800,000, 500,000 people watching the season finale, right? But then now with this season, they was rushing it the whole season. I felt like since they took that break, and then even before they took the break, like they tucked the whole summer in. I don't know if it could have been schedule conflicts or what, but that storyline was just getting rushed, right? And I think that's what some people were saying about the last episodes of Game of Thrones. But see, like with Game of Thrones, when they did their spinoff, like House of Dragons, the quality was still there. Even with the spinoffs, the storyline gets way more dynamic. It doesn't matter if it's a sequel or a prequel. I don't know what happened with Power, with the storyline and the writing. The creative direction of Power is always pretty solid. Something is going on in that back room once again. I don't get why the heist in Power made more sense in the first season. Like in the season finale, Kane, he kind of makes himself a sacrificial lamb and he pops at the cops. And then it's like, how, yo, did he roll under the car? He barrel rolled under the car? Did they install a trap door under the car? Like, y'all get what I'm saying? Like, how did y'all do that? There was supposed to be like a trail of blood. Where was the trail of blood? Like, what? How did he do that in those 10-15 seconds? Like, it was a lot of that. And you know, of course we know it's a fantasy, it's a fiction or whatever. How the fuck he rolled under the car like that? That just doesn't... Did he roll under the car? Where is the sense in that at all? Y'all get what we're saying here? Everything other than that, with the finale, made sense. I don't get why we couldn't have got an hour and 30 minutes, a 2 hour short like movie kind of episode. People been watching Power since like what, 2017. For that show to be what it is and be what it was, Power should have got treated way better than that. Power should have... There never should have been such a detrimental dip in what made it Power. Y'all get what we're saying? Power should have gotten way more respect and credence as a show that really kind of set waves in online marketing. When it comes to marketing shows online, captivating the streets, Power is the last show that did that. And even Money and Violence. I don't know if y'all watched that show, Money and Violence. Like, I didn't really watch Money and Violence like that. I remember, like, the streets used to talk about money and violence. But Power took that to another level times 100. Power had the whole world, the whole country, the whole world online going crazy. Every Friday or Saturday when it came out, you would just wait to see. Like, yo, Power was doing what Game of Thrones is doing. Like, I'm gonna keep it a beam. To me, at one point, Power and Game of Thrones was like neck and neck for just captivating people online, captivating people that's the audience, right? Like, I literally never seen a show like Power. It would be like when a mixtape would drop, like when that Hot 50 mixtape would drop, or like when a Fire Lil Wayne mixtape would drop. And everybody is jacking it. Everybody is toting it like, nah, this is fire. Power had that aura, and Power lost aura. Like, don't make it seem like I'm wildin'. Something happened with Power. But now, this season finale, I enjoyed it, but like, yeah, it was just like, it was rushed. I don't know what else to say about it. Right, like, after it was done, there was something at the end, and I'm like, yo, where is that bringing me? Where was that supposed to take me? Tariq on the campus, walking around on grass, saying that somebody want to pop it off on them, then they, like, what is that? Where is that supposed to bring me? And that's what I'm saying, like, those executive decisions right there, I'm like, yo, I don't know what happened with the staff over there. And I'm a fan of the show, right? Like, I be wanting to start it from the top, because look, y'all, Raising Kanan is amazing. Like, paying attention to it and connecting certain dots, I enjoy Raising Kanan. It's just something nostalgic and gritty about it that makes that show very enjoyable. With Tariq, it's like with the Power Book Ghost. They even with the last season, they rushed it a bit. Like, I don't know if there's a difference with the Raising Kanan and how they treat Raising Kanan and how they treat Power Book. There's a disconnect somewhere there. And now the Power Book Force with Tommy, they showed you the most, like, but still it was something that didn't captivate people like the first Power. For any time the culture get a forward like that, anytime the culture get a show like Power, they deserve the same treatment that Game of Thrones, Billions, all of these shows. Like, I don't know if any of y'all know about Billions, but Billions and Power kind of had the same thing. Like, the first 3 seasons of Billions was amazing. The first 4, Billions is one of my favorite shows of all time. But then when you get to like season 5, things started getting a little shaky with Billions. You know that, all right, it could be the staffing, different creative teams, not knowing how to things like that, right? Billions, they was having some stuff go on, and Power, I'm thinking that could be the only reason. And also Starz, right? I don't know if they threw Power because of Starz, but Omari Hardwick did not come back. All of the online, and shout out Mark Dark, right? We was listening to Mark Dark earlier today, and he was throwing out that fan theory of Ghost popping back up. At the end of the show, I don't want to ruin it for y'all, but at the end of the show, the uncle was just like, you know what I'm saying? A ghost. It just makes you wonder, like, Power could have, the Power universe, it could have been 1,000 times way more brilliant than that. But I'm gonna say this, because y'all know 50 Cent is starting a network, right? I think there was a lot of different co-collaborators that was involved with Power that could have just fondled with the plots and storylines. But here's what I'm saying. When 50 catch another one of those shows, and he's gonna do it soon because he got that movie film studio in Louisiana, right? Shout out Louisiana, Shreveport, Louisiana, I think. 50 Cent, when he catches that next Power, he's gonna catch like a Game of Thrones. Whatever 50 is putting together, I'm expecting his next move to be that one. And I think Power is a step in that direction. I think he learned a lot of things from Power, but I think when he catches his next one, that next one is gonna be it. Just the universe of urban crime drama. What 50 Cent brings next to that is gonna be on a top level. Like y'all know that show Your Honor. I don't know if y'all know that show Your Honor on Netflix, but if the writers from that would have collaborated with the writers from Power, like, that's what urban crime needs. You get what we're saying? Like, it needs to be the healthy mix of people that's tapped in with the culture. And like, even with Tariq being in college, having those discussions and you're expanding on, like, that's amazing. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's fire. When the writing in it is just way more elaborate, and it's it's in collaboration with people that could really push forward and keep things relative. That's what it is, right? You know, I think it be the writing, like, dumbing it down for the audience just because it's crime and it's urban. But I think when 50 Cent is gonna be the one to break that, and you know, he did it already, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But I think when he does it the next time, and he's not having problems with Starz, he's not having none of that, he is going to dominate that. And I feel like it's gonna be top tier. Whatever happened with Power, we need to avoid that. You know, that doesn't. And when I say that, I mean there needs to be like consistent quality. Why take out Ghost? Like, what was the decision behind doing that? Y'all get what? Y'all feel me? Like, why? Why couldn't we have seen him platform to the next level? There's nothing wrong with that. You feel me? It's just so much pit holes and little things that make you wonder, like, why would they do that? Why they did that? Why did they rush 3 seasons of Power? What was that break for the whole summer about? And then when it came back, it felt like they was trying to crash 2 episodes into 1 episode. Why did the heist get less logical? Because, like, even a game like Grand Theft Auto, the heist makes sense. You feel me? I don't know if y'all play Grand Theft Auto 5, Grand Theft Auto 6, but the heist in Grand Theft Auto really makes sense. And it's like, if it could make sense in a video game a little bit, why can't it make sense in Power? And once again, I get that it's a movie, but yo, how the fuck, where did Kane go after by the car in the season finale? How did Kane roll under the car and the cops didn't search the place? Yeah, y'all feel what I'm saying? Look, that's just what I'm wondering. But other than that, you know, shout out to the Power universe. Shout out to 50 Cent, Miss Courtney Kemp, everybody that was involved in creating a sensational urban crime drama. Power is great. You know, I think the replay value for Power is always going to be there. But y'all know that it's really when Omari Hardwick and 50 Cent is in it, Tasha, like, even Tasha, the way that Tasha was appearing in the episodes, like, something just seemed off with it. Even with the last episode with Monet and like her we didn't even get to see that. So many moments that I think the creative direction of Power, it kind of robbed the audience of a certain experience. For 7 years of watching the show, I would have definitely wanted a 2-hour long season finale. You feel me? That's why I'm making this video, because I was like, yo, I wanted more. You feel me? But y'all, let me know if I'm wildin'. But I know I'm styling and profiling, and I hope y'all vibing. All right? Now, y'all, for real, let me know if I'm wildin'. Is Power wildin'? Is Starz wildin'? Who's wildin'? Was the executive producers wildin'? Was the creative marketing team wildin'? Was the writers wildin'? Was Omari Hardwick wildin'? Y'all, I'm out of here, man.